Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. 2 videos ago, we collected all of the pickups on Shoreside, and we ended by the heart right behind me in this location here. I'm going to head back to Portland to try to do a thing that I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do. So we'll leave it as a mystery at the moment, but I'm going to cut this trip, and you'll just see me loading a save. I drove and through the tunnel, and then hopped across the bridge and headed back to the Portland safe house and saved my game right there. And the thing that we're trying to do involves this unique colored Karuma. This is the teal Karuma, and like I mentioned, I'm going to try to get all of the unique or special vehicles in the game. And it turns out there isn't enough garage space to do that. And in particular, on Portland, there's only room for it's a one-car garage in theory, but you can jam two cars in that garage. But we're going to have more cars than that, the special vehicles than that we want to save here on Portland. And so, just to try to get this Karuma out of the way, I decided to try a thing. So I've mentioned that I use the GTA wiki a bunch, and I've used it for research and to give me ideas, and I've read from it many times in this video series. But another great resource that I've used is on GameFAQs.com. And so on GameFAQs.com for this particular game, there's a FAQ called Special Vehicle FAQ by the author Lancet Jades, Lancet Jades. I'm going to put the link to this particular FAQ in the video description. So here I drove my Karuma to a particular spot at the far northwest of Portland, and now we're going to do our mega jump. No problem. I definitely didn't die the first time I did this and cut that out of the video. And so in this FAQ, Lancet claims that there is a way to get that special unique colored Karuma over to the safe house on Staunton Island. Here I'm trying to see if actually I haven't, I'm hoping I haven't even despawned the thing. Like Lancet says, it'll still be there, just don't get in like any other vehicles. And so I'm looking. I don't think the draw distance is strong enough for me to be able to see it. So I have no idea in this first attempt here, like whether or not it's going to be there when I get back. But I'm intentionally not driving to the next destination, which is to hop into a boat, and in particular the reefer, which we've taken a few times before. And so you might start to get an idea of where we're going with this once I mention the reefer. We'll teleport into the reefer with the F button as usual. So Lancet claims to have this method that allows you to use the reefer to teleport that Karuma over to the Staunton garage. In fact, teleport a lot of different vehicles of that size over to the Staunton garage. So I had actually read this a while ago, years ago, when I first got into the game, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I never tried it. I was just trying to learn a speedrun route a couple of years back. And then at some point in the last few weeks, as I've been making all the videos for the series, I said, oh, that'd be something interesting. It just popped into my head. Oh, yeah, let me try that thing with the car and the boat. And so I tried it off video like a week ago several times. Didn't even come close to succeeding. But then I said, okay, like we've gotten the highest percentage we can without doing the next story mission in the game. And so I'm just thinking about these kinds of, I'm going to show like a bunch of quirks and glitches and things like late in the video series, like after we do all the storyline stuff. So I'm really only trying to do things that I think are kind of like useful and productive for us, even as we can't increase the percentage without doing the next mission. But this thing in particular felt like it was, well, actually a little bit productive. If I really do intend to grab all those unique vehicles, I need places to store them, and there just isn't enough room in our little two-car garage there. Okay, so you've seen me do this thing before. I've shown you that if you jump and land in the water near, like land, the game will very generously plop you up onto the land. So definitely, I didn't get up here legitimately, but this is something I've shown before. Okay, so if you didn't know where we were going with this before, you probably have a very good idea as I carefully try to line up my special unique color Karuma that does not exist anywhere else in the game. Not now, not in the future. Trying to line it up with this boat. And so this seems perfectly safe. I've got my life vest on, don't worry. Okay, perfect. All right, and so what am I going to do? I'm just stuck on a boat and a car. Well, if you're really paying attention, you'll see that this boat is moving somehow. we're moving forward. We're making significant forward progress in this boat. And all I'm doing is hitting the accelerate button. I'm in the Karuma. I'm showing you the side here. Lovely. It's just a nice night for a boat ride. You got the full moon, calm waters, nothing to see here, folks. So I'm just pushing the forward button as I drive the Karuma. And it is, I think what's happening is like it's pushing into the boat and pushing the boat forward. But I don't think that's how physics works in the water. It's kind of foggy here in this recording. I wish the weather were a little bit better. Like the boat and the Karuma. Oh, look out! Boat and the Karuma are both getting damaged. I'm trying to find this particular spot, and it was so foggy that I kind of missed my mark. Like it is way too steep here to get to even think about trying to get up on land. You can see I'm starting to lose health because I'm like kind of in the water at times. I guess the Karuma is not waterproof because I've lost windows and doors and stuff. Here I pause to try to like read the directions. Sorry, I thought I cut all these pauses out or cut them way down. I forgot that I paused once early in this process. Uh, so um, Something. So it turns out, like I can go forward and move the boat forward. I can turn right and left, but that gets kind of dicey. Like sometimes the Karuma starts like trying to drive off the boat, right or left. But if I move backwards, generally speaking, the boat does tend to move backwards a little bit. But if I go backwards too fast or too much, then my Karuma will just back out of the boat. And let me tell you, this right here, this particular location is not ideal for backing out of the boat. Okay, so I'm totally lost over here. The real spot that I want is way south of where I am. Like from where I drove onto the boat here. I should have just gone directly west, but I tried this like a week ago and I kind of forgot where the mark was. Oh, this is getting dicey. Look out. Look out. Oh, does my insurance cover this? Carboat, don't fail me now. Okay, so here I realize I'm too far north. I need to turn this thing around. At this moment, I'm wondering, do I call my mechanic or the Coast Guard? What's the right problem solving technique here? Okay, so that is first attempt. Did not go as planned, but carboat is not predictable. So what can I tell you? Okay, attempt number two. So we reload the save. And I think we're going to cut this here, and I'll just skip ahead to the part where I've already dropped off my Karuma there. You can see it up ahead, waiting patiently, and we will make carboat 2. I'll mention that if you go to the GameFAQ website that is linked below, and you want to find, it's kind of a long web page. It describes all of the special vehicles and how to get them and what makes them special. And I think I'll be using this a bunch as I make this series going forward and trying to figure out what the special vehicles are and how to get them. But if you want to find this particular technique that I'm doing, you're going to just do a Control F for find or Apple F for the two-word phrase, take this, and it should come right up with this particular method that I am trying. And again, at this moment in the recording, still have no earthly idea if it's going to work. Like I tried a couple of times, like I said last week, didn't feel like I really came close to a success. Let's safely jump this Karuma over the edge and directly onto the reefer. Man, I think whoever came up with this technique must have been like smoking something. How do you come up with this idea? Holy cow. So like this is all right. So like to come up with this idea, it's like, oh, hey, can I drive a car onto a boat? So that's not the part I'm talking about, but like just crazier stuff coming up in this video. And like whether it works or didn't, whether it's gonna work or isn't gonna work. Like I was still gonna show like the stuff that's coming up in this video because like it's already crazy that like I can drive carboat from the car, but there's more crazy stuff up ahead. And like the part that like somebody figured out, I don't think it was Lancet, I think it was somebody else, and Lancet gave that other person credit in the fact. But like to come up with this technique to actually get a vehicle, like off of this boat and safely onto land, that's just nuts. Nuts. Okay, so I've followed the walkthrough so far, and then I'm gonna freewheel it because I think the part that's coming up in the walkthrough is the part that I didn't even come close to succeeding at when I tried this a few times last week. So my plan, instead of what the FAQ recommends, is to try to try to back my boat up onto land and then just gently, with the back of the boat, kind of just barely on these rocks here to my left, gently back up my car right onto the rocks, like directly from the boat to the rocks. But you can see I didn't have it lined up. You won't be surprised to know that controlling carboat is not the simplest task. So here we go, attempt number 3. And still, at this point in my video recording, no clue whether or not this is feasible. I haven't even seen it done like in a YouTube video. All I'm looking at is a description. Couldn't find anything in YouTube. I don't know. I searched GTA 3 carboat and nothing comes up. Okay, so I'm showing this in quadruple speed just to show you what my technique has been this for each of the attempts. And then we're just mega jumping and then running over to the reefer and then piloting the reefer back over to the Kuruma. And so each of these attempts probably took like 5 minutes, and I think that I was committed to like this attempt and maybe one more after this one, but I wasn't willing to spend 2 hours on this task, especially since the reward maybe isn't all that great. I mean, the fact is, I could quite easily get the Kuruma over to the Staunton garage by making the Kuruma have no collision detection. You know, using like make the Kuruma the vehicle that I can do taxi in. That's one glitch, and then take the taxi driver active Kuruma over to the crusher and make the Kuruma have no hit detection, and then drive this no hit detection Kuruma straight through the blue wall in Portland Tunnel, just like we did in the last video, right, when we demonstrated driving through that blue wall. And then you might be saying, well, GTA Failure, once you get out of this special Kuruma, which is a unique color but now has no hit detection, you won't be able to get back in. Well, that's true unless you happen to take this no hit detection vehicle into one of your garages and get out of the car and then let the garage door close. And then when the garage door opens, the vehicle in question will have hit detection and it will be enterable, but it will now be damage proof from collisions. And we saw this in one of the previous videos. You can still flip that kind of a special vehicle. Here I was trying to gun it and try to get up this ramp right here, but it's just not close. Carboat's top speed is not what it should be. If the slope were shallower, I think we'd be able to do this idea of just like beaching the boat and then I could just back up. I'd be firmly, you know, I was imagining like, can I get like 20 feet onto land with this boat? And then I could just back up the boat or the car off the boat. But it's not close, not close. So this was again me freewheeling and not paying attention to the fact. So as I was saying, if you take your collision-proof vehicle and you store it in your garage and let the garage door close and then reopen, now your vehicle is damage-proof from collisions, but you can still, it'll still take damage from bullets, although it won't show that damage. I think it won't like smoke or whatever until the car blows up. And you can still flip it and roll it. That was me pausing the game to actually go read the FAQ and try to figure out, okay, what am I really supposed to be doing here? I'm done freewheeling. Let me read. And so that was me pausing to read. I read for much longer than you saw there. I cut out a lot of the pause, and I'll do it several more times in this video where you'll see me pause and then immediately restart, but it's not immediate. It's me reading what's going on. Okay, so I'm reading, and the next step, according to the FAQ, which I've been kind of ignoring up until this point, is to get carboat to be very close to the shore and parallel to the shore. And again, specifically, it's got to be in this this section right here where you know, the water is not that much below the level of the rocks here to my left. When we went further north in my first attempt, that was just way too much to ask. Okay, so this seems totally safe. So I just hit the F key. The game wasn't able to, like, you know, plop me out because the boat was in the way, like, of the driver's side door. So it just teleported me onto the roof, standard physics. And now I teleported into the boat by pushing the F key, and now I'm controlling the boat. Now this is quite delicate, this maneuver. Don't worry, I'm a professional. But the car does not stay on the boat anymore. I can't, like, if I just drive this boat forward, the car will immediately fall out the back. And that's kind of what I want, but I want it to fall out very gently. I want it to fall out and stay in the orientation it is now, with the roof of the vehicle pointed up and the four wheels pointed down. Because if this car flips over, which cars all really want to do when they go in the water in GTA 3, then the car blows up immediately because physics. And so if you can keep the car on its wheels, like with the wheels down, even though the car is in the water, and it should be totally dead. The instant it hits the water, it should explode and be dead forever. But it doesn't die until it flips over. And it's going to be hard to see here, but if you pay attention, you'll see that the rear lights are still on for my car. The boat's in the way here, but you might be able to see it as I kind of maneuver around. This car is still living and breathing. And in fact, if I was close enough to get in the car, I would get in the car and essentially have the opportunity to drive it, but I would start to drown immediately. Okay, so the next step in the fact is to gently nudge this car onto the shore. We need to get all four wheels of the car on the shore. Now I'm having trouble with my view. I can't see anything. I can't see what I'm doing. Then I remember, oh yeah, I could just change the camera angle. And when I do, I see a very scary sight. What I'm going to see is the car flipping over onto its hood. And so at this point, as it's rolling, I think, oh, it's done. Like it's already rolled. I'm just desperately pushing. I can't see anything. I assume it's flipped over. Cinematic camera is perfect for the fine kind of work that I'm after here. And I don't know what happened because I had a terrible angle at everything. But my goodness, gang, if it doesn't look like the four wheels of that Karuma are on land. Okay, so please don't jump into the water now. I'm just looking to get onto land. Big hop. Here we go, GTA failure. You can do this. Boom. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the the Karuma. Looks perfectly safe. This is like a Spider-Man Karuma. And I am going to get in this Karuma, unsure if I'm going to immediately start dying or if the Karuma will start sliding when I get in. We'll see. Okay, all right, here we are. Here we are. Everybody calm down. And then I'm going to try to drive the Karuma very gently. And holy cow, we just did it. I can't believe it. And then I hit that slope and I was like, oh my God, please don't roll a Karuma now on a slope that's too steep. And then I was like, oh wait, can I go over this? No, it's going to flip me into the water. Did I pick a terrible spot to beach my Karuma? Then I back up trying to get a run up. Oh my God, I just backed up into the water after like 10 minutes of trying to get this Karuma over here. Oh, perfect. It's raining. Friction and grip are worse. Okay, but we got it. We got it. We got it. I'm sure you had no doubts. Okay, and here we are. We've done it. I can't believe it. Okay, surprisingly, I did one more stupid thing while I was driving back to my safe house in here on Staunton, is that I drove through Colombian cartel territory. Why didn't I just take this highway and just take the long way around? I was like, no, the GPS says turn right here. It's the shortest distance path. And I was like, oh, I think we could do this. But my goodness, what if? Look, I'm getting shot at all over the place. Like, could you imagine? We do all of that. We get the Karuma over here on land, drivable, and then it blows up because it's shot a few times by the Colombian cartel. Holy cow. Okay, but here we are. Gang, the unique colored Karuma is here without using any cheats. Did I use some glitches? I don't know. I mean, I guess I used the mega jump glitch, but I didn't need to do that. I could have hopped over the girders at the Callahan Bridge. Mega jump glitch was just a shortcut, a time saver. And here we are with our slightly worse for wear green or special teal Karuma. We back up, close the garage door, open the garage door, brand new special colored Karuma. It's perfect. Yeah, I didn't think that would work, but it worked. Thrilled, absolutely thrilled. All right, so here I think I just refill my health and weapons for a second and save the game in this new location. So I can't believe it worked. I'm sure you had confidence that this was going to work. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.